The most famous fish in the world, and possibly the most misunderstood, is the goldfish. They're colourful, friendly, and sold as the perfect first fish for beginners, which is a bit ironic because they're actually one of the worst fish to start with. Today we'll be looking at where goldfish come from, why they poop like it's a competitive sport, and what makes them both fascinating and frustrating to keep. Goldfish have been swimming alongside humans for over 1,000 years. They were first bred in ancient China from a dull, greyish-brown carp, the kind of fish that you never really look at twice, until one day a few of them turned to a shimmering gold. Back then, keeping goldfish was a privilege reserved for emperors and nobility. Commoners weren't even allowed to own the golden ones. Only the emperor could keep the colour of good fortune in his pond. Over time, selective breeding spread throughout Asia, creating a wide range of goldfish we know today, from the simple, streamlined commons to the round, bubble-eyed, pom-pom wearing fancy varieties that barely resemble their wild ancestors. And whatever abomination this is. But the story didn't end in palace ponds. By the 1600s, goldfish had spread to Japan and eventually to Europe, spreading a symbol of wealth and good luck. Fast forward to now, and they're sold in tiny plastic bags at fairs. A bit of a downgrade from imperial privilege. They are marketed as one of the easiest beginner fish, but they're honestly one of the worst first fish you could choose. They're messy, grow huge, and produce more waste than almost any other freshwater fish. Think of them as cows of the aquarium world. They're constantly grazing and constantly pooping. That's why those tiny bowls you see in movies or fairs are basically slow motion torture chambers. A single goldfish can easily grow over 20 centimeters long and needs at least a 150 litre tank each. Add more and you'll be in serious need of an upgrade, or just get a pond. They thrive in cool, well-oxygenated water between 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, with a pH between 7 to 8. And moderate to hard water. Strong filtration will keep your tank clean throughout the week. However, it is essential that you maintain a 50% water change every week to remove any of the toxic waste that is built up from your fish's poop. Goldfish will eat just about anything that fits in their mouth. They're bottomless stomachs with fins, which is why overfeeding is the #1 rookie mistake. You'll end up with cloudy water, rotting food, and a very bloated fish. A good goldfish diet should include a mix of high-quality pellets or flakes, plus some veggies that are blanched like spinach, zucchini, or peas to keep things moving. Look for foods that include spirulina. It's great for their digestion and helps prevent swim bladder issues, which fancy goldfish in particular are notorious for. Basically, feed small amounts twice a day, and if they're still begging for food after that, just remember, goldfish are liars. Realistically, they're best kept with their own kind, as small fish can get eaten or compete for food. Fast-moving varieties like comets can live together just fine, but mixing them with slower, round-bodied fancy goldfish is asking for trouble. The fast ones will outcompete the slow ones at feeding time every single day. If you'd like to introduce a cleanup crew, bristlenose plecos are great for battling algae buildup, as long as everyone has the space. Chinese sucking catfish are also another option, however, if you're keeping fancy goldfish, skip them entirely. Sucking catfish are known to latch onto slower moving fish and rasp off their slime coat, and fancy goldfish make perfect targets, so stick to a pleco in their case. If you want your goldfish to live longer than your houseplant, here's a few quick mistakes to avoid. Don't skip water changes. Goldfish are heavy waste producers, and if you're not changing at least 25 to 50% weekly, your tank will turn into a nitrate soup before you know it. Don't use gravel that's too small. They like to dig and fossick around, and small gravel can easily be swallowed, leading to blockages. Go for medium to large pellets, or bare bottom if you prefer easy cleanup. Don't keep them without an air stone. They thrive in high oxygen levels. Remember, they're cold water fish that evolved in well aerated ponds, not steel bowls. Don't mix your fancies and common varieties together, as already mentioned, and try not to neglect plants. Live plants like hornwort, anubias, elodia, vallisneria, they're all great to add into your aquarium. They not only help absorb waste, but give them something to nibble on, and yes, they will redecorate your aquascaping daily. Basically, goldfish aren't hard, they're just high maintenance. The myth that goldfish only have a 3-second memory is totally busted. Research shows that they can learn tasks like pushing a red paddle for food, and remember those choices long after the experiment ends. They also show social tendencies, following each other, forming simple hierarchies at feeding time, and reacting to their environment in coordinated ways. So next time someone says memory like a goldfish, just remember, these fish might remember you longer than you give them credit for. They're ancient, they're messy, and way more complex than people seem to think. If you're thinking about getting one, plan for the fish they'll become, not the cute little versions they start out as. We've got some incredible varieties in store if you want to see them up close, and I've left a link in the description if you'd like to pick one up for yourself. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more fish profiles, plant highlights, and aquarium insight videos, because this channel is basically a directory for anyone who's obsessed with making their tanks look and run better. Thanks for watching.